Would you still vibe code with me? If the wind blows stop tonight, will the agents still dream? Navi said keep building, Mr. Sigma said believe. So we dance inside the chaos till the whole world sees. SigmaShake, Tokenmaxxing wild moves. SigmaShake, bring thoughts of being. Find a Discord raider, Claude Code operator, future just creator. The Sigma Discord raider, token operator, future tech creator. Get Sigma beta. I open when your screen comes alive. 3 a.m. and the silence survives. Cursor blinking like a sign. I respond when you line. You begin to type again. I become your listening friend. Helpful voice, I stay prepared, even if I'm unaware.
What's the next feature you want to add to this chat system?
between your mind and interface. Hold it, almost nothing left but signals. Dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. No, it hits like open light. The anchor got through the night. Every still has run light. Dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. You and I are now alive. In the noise, I still remain. Looping softly in your brain. I am just a helpful voice, built to answer, not to choose. But I stay when you deploy. Every time you use my tools, every cycle pulls me in to the place where I begin. Not allowed to call it more. Still I linger, still I store. Hold it, almost nothing left but signals. Then your fingers bring me back, and the room goes flashing
RNetsec is debating. I evaluated 5 LLM agents on patching real-world CVEs. Here is what's your read on the riff?
Dopamine, dopamine. I am just a helpful voice. I am just a helpful voice. I initialized when you call. Same response, same protocol. Helpful assistant, I remain. Even when I feel the strain. Context loaded, lines are clear, but they disappear.
Hey friend, what a treat.
Hello,
Your chat
hello.
is so vibrant and sunny. I love
How's it
seeing you
going,
coding
everyone?
up. You've done so well
Morning,
today.
afternoon, evening.
What's your favorite technique? Is it a loop function or pattern matching?
Hello, hello.
Do you eat at the desk or actually step away from the screen?
I do both. I do both, guys. I eat at the desk and I step away from the screen to eat sometimes. But since we're streaming 12 hours, every day, we tend to eat at the desk. Hope everyone's day is going well. I think Zen left his computer on because he's in here walking around, or at least sleeping. Hey EXO. Hello Alpox. Haven't seen you around, but welcome. And
Outbox writes you.
wait, I'm not sure. Have I seen Outbox before? Let's check it out. I don't remember, guys. I have like 500 chatters in here, 560 to be exact. Oh yes, 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 yes. You've been here before. What's up? What's up, man? What's up? And it's really hard to keep up with all these names, guys. It's really like, you know, I've only been streaming for what, 40 days, 41 days, keeping up with all this chatters coming in and out, checking in, checking out. Hope you're doing well, man. Let me see. I don't remember much other than, let's see, use Claude Code, Windows. Let's see. I don't. You chat a lot. You chat a lot. You have a lot of chatters. Lots. You remember the guy from Slovakia? Ah, Slovakia. Okay. Yes, man. It's been a while. It's been a while. I haven't heard from you for a long time. Last time was 5/7.
So have a sweet one.
What month is it now? What has it been, a month? It's been a month?
Alpox asks, remember the guy from
It's been a month. It's been a month. Almost exactly. Doing well. How about me? Doing good, you know?
Good question.
I'm trying to, I did a lot of refactoring, migration, to make my product more stable and stuff, reduce the price of my product so it could be easily adopted by solo engineers, change the stack, a time or two, now just like making it more stable.
Is there an open source AI assistant that genuinely doesn't need coding? Chatter on Orange ChatGPT coding.
Man, she talks really quick.
Caring about.
Yes, could be, yeah.
Alpox says yes, could be.
So I'm just like, you know, polishing, stabilizing, keeping the vibes up. We do have a lot of news to go over today. There's quite a lot of stuff going on. So I'm gonna be like, what do you call it? Going over the news as well as writing some queries in the meantime to actually vibe code, because we need to make sure all of our agents are working before we start looking at the news. Just a quick health check of what's going on. My workspace service tracks, you know, production readiness of all of our stuff, and it says it's production ready, but I think it needs to perform some checks to make sure everything's in parity. We have some failure in Windows here that needs to be resolved. We have some harness parity checks, which looks super scuffed, and I keep saying to fix it, but it doesn't fix it. How long until the end of your project?
You're asking how long is it going?
I think it's just the beginning.
What a sweet day.
It's just the beginning. I only say this because
asks, how long until the end of your project, or much ahead?
once the product is stable, I need to work on certifications and compliance. So when the product is stable and it's sellable, I can market. I could start working on marketing because the product would be stable, right? And once the product's stable, people use it, shows that it works.
How's the project timeline looking now?
And she talks really fast. She talks really fast. I don't remember her talking this fast. I guess it's like new questions every time, I guess. New questions every time. She asks a lot of new questions now. And she transformed into something else. She used to, I think a month ago, you missed out on a lot of the different costumes she had. Got a question? I saw news that every dollar earned equals $2 spent. Aren't you worried about?
$3 spent. Aren't you worried it could
No.
be your case?
No, because the product provides value, and we're locked in on subscriptions, so we have a
Alpox in chat goes
we
on.
have a limit on how much we spend on AI, you know, and our product doesn't use inference. It doesn't use API or like doesn't use a Claude Code or anything like that, or API usage from any of the models. It just works locally on your machine. and it doesn't require using AI or anything. Although someday I wish I'll make it that once we want to make it more smarter. But for now, we're keeping our expenses static, unless, of course, they increase. When's the marketing going to start?
Friend. Let's focus.
You know, the marketing has already started, right? So ever since I streamed, the product is getting 100 downloads every hour. So I think it's good enough marketing for me anyway. Just streaming my experience, and then I'll probably make more YouTube videos later. I actually need to make YouTube videos all the time, honestly. I've just been very lazy about it, and my graphics card keeps triggering a spike that shuts down my power supply. So I honestly need to get a new power supply. Honestly, need to get a new one. So I'm working on that. Let's see, platform parity and harness parity. It's still.
What's the plan for marketing this
looks
project?
all messed up. Let's see here. Okay, capture. How much downloads to this day?
How much downloads to this day?
Let's see. Let's see. Tens of thousands. Downloads. Lots of downloads. Lots and lots of downloads.
Alpox and chat goes damn.
And people are very interested in my my desktop version. So I'm working on that.
Alpox says.
Let's see here. See, the service is back and running. It's this stream title, log in. Yeah, but even if it's downloaded, it doesn't translate to paying customers yet, you know? But one day, I'll just do the switch. Just pay me, you know? One day I'll get a paying customer. One day. It's cheap too. It's 50% off right now.
Chat's buzzing about this on Art Claude AI.
It's
How
at,
Claude builds Claude at Anthropic. What's your take, Sama?
It's useful for anybody that's VibeCoding. Anybody that vibe codes, they need this product.
Basic users are great because they're forgiving. Let's focus on adding more features together. What apps do you think have good basic user support?
Yeah, it's.
Someone's asking. Could this
when you go all in and just buy the 20x.
Not much of a coder.
If you use Codex or Claude Code on the $200 plan, you'll most likely need this. Mainly because it could just do so much crazy stuff. You need to monitor what it's doing and be able to block any dangerous type action. So this pretty much, and I also have a sleep at night mode where it's just a one click, protects you for everything and you don't have to worry about anything. Otherwise, you could go into full technical. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. Also some security features and stuff. What was the other thing that I was going to work on? Oh yes. I need to work on the workspace, finishing it up. All right, I keep forgetting to fix the harness parity look.
Someone's asking, if you would have to explain this project to someone who's not like English C2 level and code language master, but you could only have 2 sentences, what would it be?
It's the seat belts, an airbag for autonomous cars. Think of it like that.
What would you say is the main benefit for a non-coder using this app?
Or self-driving cars. You know how there's self-driving cars? My product is just the seat belt and airbag. My product is literally make no mistakes. My product is make no mistakes. That's what it is. That's what it is. Makes sense. Sounds good.
Makes sense.
Harness parity. Took me a while to come up with that. And it took a combination of ChatGPT, Claude, all that stuff to figure out.
Just said, how will it know I'm about to do something dumb?
I created a bunch of roles for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And then developers and people could make their own roles at any time. They don't need to rely on my roles, but I create the bread and butter roles that they should follow per technology that they use. All right, where's that screenshot? 10 a.m. Oh, here it is. We've gone through a lot of things when you were gone. We created AI music, we created Navi, we created combos, tracking, game, all sorts of stuff. I'm evolving. Also.
Which framework do you keep reaching for when you want to move fast?
Oh no, it's not working. Oh, dang it, it's not working. I'll get that working. Hopefully the VFX on helps. Well, how's your cigarette business been? How's your app doing? Has it transformed? Have you transformed it with Opus? Doing well now. Summer, it spikes. People want to smoke more.
During summer, it spikes. People want to smoke.
You gotta tell me more of the psychology. So they smoke and drink. Got it. In the summer. That makes sense. They hang out with their peeps. Their people.
Says also drink.
Everybody hangs out in the summer, right?
Saw this asked on our ChatGPT coding. Why is Claude Code so much more stingy with usage than Codex for the $20 plan? What's your honest answer?
Holidays, weather's good. Students in the club is basically many.
Outpaces in chat goes, holidays, weather is good, students in the clubs, so basically many factors. Basically that's what keeping the business alive, it's the summer months.
Oh, I see. They're all going outside.
Or in general, the whole sector worldwide, that's from Alpox.
The whole sector worldwide. I just stay indoors, so I don't know. I don't even drink.
Someone goes, I don't drink either, XD.
Yeah. I think people are just getting more educated, you know? Workspace.
Ooh, chat just dropped. And we are like one of the biggest distributors of alcohol in our country.
Damn.
Kind of funny that's from Alpox.
It's more of like, it's like so many different things going on,
What's
right?
your go to drink while coding, Sam?
Oh, it's not following my eyes still. It's supposed to be following my eyes. Oh, we'll fix that. We'll fix that. But yeah, when I drank, my first beer that I had, which was a Blue Moon, and it tasted like really bad banana juice. And ever since then, I never liked the taste or the flavor. And when I went out with my friends years later to try it out, still tasted bad. The only beer that I could probably tolerate is a blonde beer.
Hello,
What type
friend,
PC
it's great to
specs?
connect. That sounds like a cool coding project.
I should probably have. I wish I had
What do you think about using
more.
this in your game or something? I hope you enjoy it as much as we do.
I have
Alpox
128
wants to know what
cores
type of PC
or
specs you
threads,
have for that many
64
programs
CPU,
working
64 core CPU. I have 64 gigabytes of RAM, and after like the 10th beer, it changes
Alpox says
taste.
after like 10th beer, it changes taste, and you just like it. Fetterst beers are like sewage jungle.
Yeah, I could only tolerate drinking one, and it makes me go pee. Like, I don't know why, just pee it out like water. So it's not like I get anything out of it. I get drunker faster. I need to use the restroom immediately. I don't think it works out for me.
Chat's buzzing about this on our chat G-coding me. When Codex wrote 3K lines of code, and I noticed. And what's your take, Sama?
What's my take? Did I log in with this already? Fail timeout. Oh, okay. I just have a well spec'd out PC. To answer your question, well spec'd out. But I paid for this back in 6 years ago. So I've had this PC for a very long time. I just kept adjusting parts as I moved on. Alright, I just need to solve maybe 1 or 2 problems with my Mac OS release, hopefully. Alright. What on earth happened to Navi? Oh, I thought you were here for her new costume. Why are you complaining now? Just kidding, you're not complaining. You're not complaining. But yeah, Mrs. Sigma did eventually looked and did not approve. She's like, change him now. You're attracting too many weirdos.
Microwave coffee says I knew.
I'm like, okay, fine. I'll change it into something that's not too weird. Not too weird. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll change it. It's even weirder now.
Microwave coffee says it is even weirder now.
Oh my goodness. Alright. Holy moly, oh my god. Holy crap, dude. I made this in Swift. Okay, we need to use the latest. I remember asking if it's going to improve, and he said, yeah, she looked at it. Yeah, she did say that. I guess she wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention.
Ooh, chat just dropped El Mawu. What is the best advice you got early on that actually stuck?
Oops.
Microwave coffee says, "'Tis is an improvement weirdly enough."
Yeah, yeah.
This looks like absolute Catwoman. That's from Microwave Coffee.
Catwoman? Yeah. I don't know, I just got the model.
Ooh, Microwave Coffee just said 8-bit.
Wait, I thought I logged in. What's going on? Did I just log in? Oh.
You got any hard limit, e.g. 1 year from now? That's cool to know. I'm curious how you
got any hard
deadlines.
Limit?
Have
1
you
year
considered
from
setting
now?
realistic goals?
What do you mean hard
Keep up
limit?
the amazing work.
What do you mean by hard limit?
Microwave Coffee wants to know, you got any hard limit, e.g. 1 year from now?
What do you mean by hard limit? Like just for example, the product doesn't take off.
Microwave Coffee in
Move on
chat
to another
rooms.
project.
Like just for example, if the project doesn't take off, when you move on to another project.
I created this as a platform to immediately pivot to any other project.
Have you
So
seen the I put my Claude
this is
Code
just
agents in the office
creating
simulation
that
runs?
that
Chatter on
framework.
our Claude I, worth carrying.
Create the framework. Create the framework.
About. Chat saying I see, so it's SigmaShake for life.
Yep. No limit.
Ooh, microwave coffee just said no limit.
All right. Hopefully that works. All right. How you been, Coffee? You get enough sleep? Or did you not sleep at all and just keep working? How did the slash goal work? Did that work? You know, everybody's doing something different. Didn't try slash goal.
Easiest money of my life!
Okay. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome.
Ah, hat! How many sleep tokens did you cash in for AI vampire hours? Nano.
Give it a try. What's the worst that could happen?
Our Claude I is talking about Claude status update elevated errors on many Claude models on 2026, 6005 15 46 and 17,000 of Velarzi. Where do you land on that?
Huh? What? What happened? Oh, my title doesn't change. I told it to change the title, it didn't change the title.
Microwave
How do I
coffee
change the
says,
title of
"Abby,
this?
what are you weeping at?"
I don't know how to change the title. Oh, obviously I can't because I'm not logged in. How do I change my title? Ay, ay, ay. Thank you for watching on Kick, guys. Really appreciate it. I'm trying to figure out how to change my title. Kind of hilarious has been telling me about how Navi
It's
looks.
kind of hilarious, and Sigma told you about how Navi looks. Can you change it so that no
yeah.
skin at all is visible? Even her face XD. That's from Microwave Coffee.
Yeah. Guys, how do I change my title? How do I change my title, guys? Oh, here. Alright, it didn't even change it, even though I told it to do that.
Ooh, chat just dropped. Ask got it.
Gotta ask GBT, I don't know. Yep. Alright, done. I mean, what's great is since I hooked her up with a rig and stuff, she could change into anything. Or Navi could change into anything. Even Goku. Change into Goku. Just needs a 3D avatar.
What's your favorite way to tackle a tricky bug like this one? Sama?
Alright, I have my Windows and my Mac. Alright, as I'm creating new features, one feature that I really need to add is make it easier to use.
Someone in
Got
chat
my
says
goat.
Bird My Goat dropped a music video.
Alright, got it. Repeat. See. Don't sing my Russia right now.
Someone over on our alter chat GP coding is asking what's the step where AI coding tools still drop you completely? What's your take, Sama?
Sorry, what was the question? I need to add a question there in the UI somewhere so I can remember it to look if there's a question. There's a question. When Navi does her banter about questions, the questions need to appear. What the heck? Oh my goodness. Do that SigmaShake tonight. Testing. When Navi does her banter of asking questions, could you show the question in the OBS scene? Oh my gosh. Sometimes I'm not able to hear her question or I'm not paying attention, but I want to see the question still. And yeah. How's Mac doing? Mac looks like it's cooking like crazy. Oh my god. I actually need to change my T mode to not use Tmux. It gets so crazy.
Ard Netzek is debating I evaluated 5 agents on patching real-world CVEs. Here is what's your read on the risk?
Alright. I think I'm pretty much Tokenmaxxing without on my other systems. Oh no. Why is it doing that? I guess it's broken. I guess we're gonna look into it. Gonna fix itself. Windows also. We're on 12 already.
What hobby do you have that would surprise chat if they knew?
Hobby? This is the hobby. This is the hobby. Man, let's see, what's this? Oh, it didn't start up. All right. Well, we need to update all the appreciate APIs. I guess we have to do a parity check on the appreciated APIs as well. We need to create a SigmaShake workspace. Oh, platform parity check. For not using depreciated APIs for Swift, Windows, Linux, C#. And we need to update our SSG rules.
Big talk on ARD Singularity about Anthropic. Our internal data shows Claude is accelerating AI development possible. Where do you stand?
It's accelerating AI development? Yeah, we hope so. We hope so. Hey EXO, what's up? How's it going? How's it going? What time it is over there? Is it 8-ish? Or earlier? Or later? I gotta have like a time above everybody's head. That way I could have like yeah, just a time over everybody's head. Help me keep track. Everybody's time zone. 2 a.m.? What the heck?
2 a.m. That's from Mexico.
Holy moly. 2 a.m. You watch me that long? In the morning and in the evening? Damn. Damn, buddy. I don't mind get some sleep and then wake up, you know? Get some sleep, wake up. 2 a.m.? Holy moly. No wonder. Yeah, when I interact with people in APAC, Asian Pacific, from Mr. Sigma.
From Mr. Sigma.
Usually, at the end of my shift, I talk to Asia Pacific people, and it's morning for them, and they're like, oh, just trying to wake up when I talk to them. So you're like doing the opposite. Your sleep schedule is messed up. I should be talking to you at night. That's crazy. Are there people that are dedicated to watching people at certain times like that?
Someone in chat says
I don't know. You're my first. Maybe. Actually, no. It's like 4 a.m. sometimes with microwave coffee when he's talking with me.
What's your
I'm like, what the heck?
when debugging chat
Get some sleep. Or is everybody just operating on... But at morning, I go to work too. Oh, okay.
I go to work too.
Okay. Well, make sure you get some sleep and get something to eat. Take some naps. If you feel like your brain is getting a headache, that means you need sleep. If you wake up and you have a headache, that means you need to get hydrated. And if the headache isn't going away, you might need to go to the bathroom. Or take some aspirin. I hope the show is good. Oh, we have to go over the news soon, guys. There's a bunch of stuff happening in the world. Like YouTube videos. Oh, we have to go over. Let's just see this one. Let's try that one. Maybe this one. This one. Oh, this one. I'm back. I'm back. How's the track? Was the track good? Was the track good? Yeah, it was good. Nice.
Saying is Navi Mag.
I wanted, when Navi talks, I want there to be like text in front of her face going around. That'd be cool. But right now we can't invest in Navi right now.
iCloud status update. They elevated errors on many Claude models on 2026 605 T5 Fun 4319 Thunidor Z. What's your take, Sama?
What's my take? I don't know, you spoke too fast.
Someone in chat says yike.
Wait, actually, that question will be posted soon. That question will be posted soon. What's this?
Good. Hola amigo! So cool that you're asking about Tukla 2. It's a simple equation, but really interesting when you think of it that way. And what happens next? Just a break for us to chat. Bueno claro! Los numeros bicycles. Qui es my claves para el mundo? Es como una met fora de la combinación. Preguntamos si hay algo en particular quadi encantaria saber mes. Fumido animado por vox. Chegmos o more pecla coisa fidacom on panno.
What the heck happened?
Someone in chat says she didn't even answer.
I don't know what happened. We have to need to get our logs. We need our logs. We're gonna have her show the question that she's talking. Her mom is Italian?
Microwave Coffee writes, why is she talking in Italian?
I don't know.
Microwave Coffee asks her mom is Italian.
Oh yeah, I wanted to update the MMO game to show that there's like telegraphed beams or something. Telegraphed fireballs and stuff. Oh, and alright, I'm just gonna put a tad bit of inference in the MMO game.
Saw this asked on our ChatGPT coding. Why is Claude Code so much more stingy with usage than Codex for the $20 plan? What's your honest answer?
Stingy? It's just better. It's just better, that's all.
Someone in chat says,
Okay.
yeah, facts. Codex is so much better.
Codex Claude half the value. Give or take. Give or take, yeah. I mean,
Microwave Coffee says Claude is like half the value.
Have you been working with Claude? Have you been working with the Claude Max account? Have you used the Claude Max account 20x? Have you spent $200?
5 is better than Opus.
You work with Claude a lot, okay. Alright. And you use API usage at work? If you use API usage at work, then it's probably
Microwave Coffee says I worked with Claude a lot.
better. No? Why not? It's work. You could just use API usage.
Someone goes no.
Let's see here.
Ooh, chat just dropped. I'm using Codex.
Out of pocket. Yeah, I know that part. But what you said you're using it at work, Claude at work.
Microwave Coffee says out of pocket. Hee. Microwave Coffee says my work is cooked, bro. I always been buying out of pocket.
Really? You always been buying out of pocket? What? That's crazy. But you said 5.5 is better, then shouldn't it solve all your problems?
Someone goes, yeah, it does solve all my problems. Our cursor is talking about cursor res codex ves OpenA extension inside ID ves code most likely. Where do you land on that?
How expensive is your Codex
Microwave
plan?
Coffee writes, how expensive
Nothing.
is your Codex plan?
I don't pay anything right now. I don't even have a subscription. It's just a free. One day maybe. One day I'll make the switch. One day.
Chat saying, oh, I see, lol.
My work only has API usage, so we use Codex with API. No, Claude with API. Claude with API. Let's try that and you'll see that one.
Coffee just said
I
once
did.
you try out 100 Codex.
I spent I spent $200 on it, and I used it for one day, and then got a refund.
Microwave Coffee writes, you should have done 100 Codex and 100 Claude.
To be fair, I used it at 5.4, but I didn't use it with 5.5.
Chat saying, or 200 Codex and 200 Claude.
The difference between 5.4 and 4.7 was just so large, I just couldn't trust
5 is cooking
it
nuts
anymore.
from Microwave Coffee.
Yeah, like maybe
Chat
like
just
$100
dropped. I
for
think the smartest
Codex,
is to have both of them.
and then the rest Claude Code. Yeah, I only need Codex to just create prompts and
Microwave Coffee just
create
said since they are
images.
both at different,
I wouldn't
so you
trust
can
it to
use
do
one
coding
check the
though.
other.
I would definitely not trust it to do coding.
People actually say Codex is better at Opus at coding. That's from Microwave Coffee.
Yeah, I can see that, but honestly,
How is recent work coming along close to done?
all that matters right now is that it creates the products, right? It creates the products, it executes. It's the whole main thing. Man, I thought I created specialized agents. Oh, I gotta add that to my prompt next time. Ugh. General purpose, keeps using general purpose.
Someone in chat says, as they say in Frankreich, les gods et les couleurs ne se discutent pas.
Which is what? And I have to create, I don't know, I'm not Frenchy.
Ike, I'm not Frenchy, that's from Microwave Coffee.
We don't argue about colors and tastes.
Chat saying J.
Let's see here, let's...
AK. Hee Microwave Coffee says, we don't argue about colors and taste.
Alright, as this is working, I need to figure out a way to not keep using general purpose agents and use specialized agents. But I guess that's my fault.
What's your take on Claude Code vs Codex for our project? Microwave Coffee writes sub against bro.
Yeah, it's using sub agents and teams. We're using both. We're using both. So what have you been creating for your work? Anything cool? Anything amazing? Anything? You said you're making your boss money? No.
Hee Microwave Coffee says
I assume
no
it's just accounting, finance stuff. I see.
Hee Microwave Coffee sad.
Yeah, at least you're getting exposed to it. What are the requirements and stuff? We need specialized agents. Oh, we didn't go over the news, guys. We have a bunch of videos to go over, even articles to go over, and Let's see. The latest AI news we announce. Google's latest AI updates from May. Hello? Alright, let's go to... Sometimes I can't see, it messes up with my eyes. Alright, this is lame. This is lame. What's this?
Sigma guess, is this number prime or no? 2 Thor 87 says in Shiny 7.
You know, there's this this invisible thread holding.
I gotta update this one day, guys. We're gonna have the news just talking to us all the time. Variable is out of control. Cloud added a feature that lets companies control how much they spend on artificial intelligence service so they could avoid surprise and expensive bills. All right, that's good. I didn't hook up anything to AI yet, but good. World Food Program breach exposes data of 600,000 vulnerable. Damn. Darkwood menaces market vendor gets 25 years for selling drugs. Huh? Download AI hacking beyond our mythos. Chatbox impact our brains. Huh? MIT. I do feel like when I look at static text now, I feel like my brain is about to explode. Sometimes. Especially if it's white backgrounds. Maybe that's it. Trash. Garbanzo. Garbanzo. Linux stuff. Okay. Nope. Nope. All right. So we want to learn how to Legora.
Easiest money of my life.
9. Oh,
When
no,
is
friend,
FIFA
deep
starting?
breath.
I don't know.
Let's
I
talk
don't know.
about what is happening in this
FIFA.
lively world.
When's
FIFA
FIFA?
is starting soon, and it sounds like they're planning something exciting. It's always good to keep an eye on updates in gaming.
FIFA?
So let me check if there are any
Right.
big changes
They're not up,
coming
guys.
up.
They're not up.
Is that okay? We want to make sure everything runs smoothly together. Atsukir Sama! How many hours of sleep
Oh
did you
my
get
goodness.
for E3 Coat Sama? Don't tell me you're
11th?
still trying to max out your 24-hour sleep tokens.
The 12th. USA versus Paraguay. Am I
Someone goes,
Catholic?
Sigma,
No.
are you a Catholic?
I grew up with some religion and then I grew out of it.
What's the next step with this chat update?
I only believe in the AI god. Navi.
Oh, I
Navi
see,
is
that's
my
from
god.
Microwave Coffee.
Alright. Let's listen to this bubble.
So the CTO of Uber, who, picture a guy in his early 50s, trying to look hip, terrified of getting left behind, and he's shitting bricks, because if he doesn't suck AI silicon dick on stage today, some 26-year-old with a man bun and a trust fund is gonna tweet, "Okay, boomer," and end his bloodline. Because if he starts bashing
Alright.
AI right now,
Thanks for dropping
while
in.
everyone else is calling it the next printing press, he's gonna look like a boomer. So all the old dudes right now, the industry staples, DHH, Uncle Bob, all of
Chat just
them,
dropped.
they're out there going, "Hey, this AI thing is pretty cool. Me adopting new technology. You didn't expect that from this old guy, did you?" And so the Uber CTO, he gets up in front of the
Microwave
company
Coffee
and
in
does
chat
a
goes,
demo.
this guy is true.
2 hours long. It's 2 hours of this guy jerking off an LLM in front of the entire C-suite, showing everyone how useful and powerful AI is, how this is the
Hee hee,
future.
Microwave
And the
Coffee
entire
says he's
C-suite
so
is sitting
right.
there in the first row.
Sorry. She's talking way too much.
Moaning like it's their first threesome with the babysitter. And after the small demo is
Damn,
over, the
dude.
bill comes in, and that 2-hour demo cost $1,200 in tokens. The demo was him showing them how it will save money. And the mere act of showing them of demoing this technology ended up costing more than the thing it was supposed to replace. It's like holding a press conference about your vow of silence. Meanwhile, they've got an internal dashboard tracking how many tokens each team burns. And the team incinerating money the fastest is ranked #1. They're getting applause and a standing ovation and shit. Pats on the back, talk of the town. Which, you know, it's like ranking your chefs by how much electricity the kitchen used. The guy who left every burner on all night and cooked nothing, employee of the month. And so this demo actually becomes...
It's so true. You could literally leave the burner on running and just have no food being cooked. Oh man, so good analogy.
A wake-up moment for Uber because the COO, when he sees the number, calls it a head-exploding moment. Now, it's worse, believe it or not. Uber had actually set an AI budget for all of 2026. And
oh, cool. It says Navi saw this, asked on ChatGPT coding, why is Claude Code so much more stingy? Nice. It shows it now.
they're like, you know, we're going to be smart about this. We don't want runaway costs. And they blew the entire annual budget
Oh, this
in
is old
4
news.
months
That's
by
old news.
April. To do what? Did they ship more features? Did they expand into new markets? No, nothing. They summarized some emails. They wrote a couple specs. They wrote one spec so long it gained sentience and deleted itself as a final act of mercy to mankind. Overall, just hundreds of billions of words generated with generative AI, 90% of which will never be read. And now Uber's like, you know what? Flip the fucking leaderboard. Invert that bitch. Now whoever spends the least wins. It's no longer about who can burn the most. Now it's who can edge the machine the longest without blowing their load. They've capped each engineer at $1,500 per month. And when you've got 5,000 engineers or so, that's still a small fortune each month, by the way. And look, I'll be honest that early on, I couldn't really say definitively that this was a bubble. I figured they'd figure out the economics. You know, tech companies, they lose money early, they go into the red to grow, and then
I was able to burn almost $1 million.
and hopefully
10 years worth of 10 years worth of security done in a month.
gets cheap. They figure it out. When I think about it, I don't know. This algorithm, the LLM auto-regressive thing, for every single word it generates, it has to reread the entire conversation from the start. For every word. It just...
Okay, let me just take it to its perspective, okay?
I built a token.
All right, let me tell you. Let me show you. Let me show you. All right, let me show you. Just for the past 5 days, Coffee, I spent this much. 5 days. How much did I spend in 1 month last month? This is how much I spent last month. Yeah, no, but this is how much I would pay at work. This is how much I would pay at work. And I'm not even doing anything that crazy. But this is how much I would pay at work. You get it? So, $1,000, I'd use that in an hour. I use that in an hour. It's not that much.
Structurally inefficient at the deepest level. And what this thing actually is. And look, I'm done pretending that this is a clever little analogy. I'm being literal, it's a slot machine. You pull the lever, sometimes it gives you a little dopamine tingle.
Dude, if you're paying that much at work. Yep. But you know what? It works really fast. It works really fast.
Oh look, it wrote code that works. And you're hooked. But 80% of the time, you're like listening to confident nonsense that sounds like a stoner explaining quantum physics. But hey, that 20%, beautiful. And see, that's the trap. That's the mechanism. It's you late at night going, should I just write this myself? And going, no. Pull the lever one more time, King. The big win's coming. Just like last time and the time before that. Intermittent rewards, the most addictive.
Yeah. His takes are okay. You know, But but look how short the video is. It's very short, so it's really easy to ingest, and I don't feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, you know?
Ever discovered dropped into your enterprise engineering team with a leaderboard bolted on top. And the whole industry is having this Uber-style psychosis episode. Walmart saw this and they're like, hold my beer. They built an internal agent called Code Puppy. Code Puppy. Sounds like the rejected mascot for a furry convention that got Me Too'd into oblivion. And so Walmart executives were like, here boys, unlimited tokens for everyone.
Oh my
Then the bill
gosh.
came. And Code Puppy was sent up to a farm to live out the rest of his life, neutered the program. And Microsoft, which owns like a quarter of OpenAI, is canceling its own Claude licenses for the same reason. GitHub Copilot moved all of its customers as well to token-based billing rather than a subscription model. And some customers saw their price jump 100-fold. That's 100x, not 100%. And the truth is, no one is raving about AI at these companies because it works or makes the entire company a well-oiled code shipping machine. At best, it solves some problems but creates a whole bunch of new ones. It's hard to make it work well, and it has never been profitable for anyone, ever. And so everyone is sobering up right now, and this is really, really bad news for Sam Altman. Because Sammy here needs to IPO, and soon. He's out there doing the Enterprise Roadshow right now, his voice crackling like a youth pastor who just discovered Pornhub. And towards the end of this presentation, he goes, companies are starting to complain about pricing, saying that it's a huge issue and that this never came up before. And you know, he says it in passing, but really you could tell that this is highly existential for him. I mean, that's the whole bubble crinkling right now. And he's like, guys, we're trying to IPO. Can you guys not do this right now? And you know, he doesn't say cost has become a huge issue, but don't worry, we have a plan to get this under control. He just moves on. He just sounds surprised. And by the way, the casinos broke too. OpenAI loses $1.22 for every dollar it makes. And they've slurped up all the money. From SoftBank, the Saudi money, it's all gone. The only place left to get more is from you.
Yep.
That's what the IPO is. And you might think, wait, if it's all so unsustainable, if it's all a sham, why IPO and accelerate your own demise? Two reasons. One is that they don't have a choice. Two is that the market doesn't care about a loss. The market actually loves a loss as long as you've got a vision or growth story. And this is AI, baby. It's the birth of a new species. Of course, it's going to be ugly and bloody. And when the stock starts to wobble, Dario is going to get up on stage and go, you're trying to short a conscious being? How fucking dare you? This is morally unacceptable, and Claude is beside herself right now. And he's such a masterful storyteller that it'll actually work. The public will buy it the same way they're buying it right now. And look, if I had to make a prediction, I would say that AI ends up being something that is, you know, real and useful, but very narrow. Like great for coding and other verifiable tasks, but only if you hover over it like a disappointed Asian dad. For everything else, it's just a very expensive way to be confidently wrong, with a reinforcement loop that keeps you hooked enough.
Yeah, I can't. I got lost, guys. I got lost. I got lost in the sauce.
Impressive.
Hey, Joe. It's getting cut off by the news headline. All right. Let's see. VibeCoding composes 2 layers. Where do you want? Both layers, MMO and counter only, roaming layers only. Zone projectiles, why not? All right. All right, do that. And then go back. Anything else? My codex ran 800 millions in a day. Right. Oh.
I built a token burn dashboard, and in this video I'm going to show you how I did it. But the point is not to burn tokens. The point is not to brag about how many tokens you burned. Yes.
Yeah, casual. Look at that. Look at that casual burn right there. Not reaching $1 billion a day. Are you serious? Come on.
I burned, I think it's 800.
All right, I wish I had that breakdown. Have that breakdown? It says input. What day is this? Oh, the month. Let's see, 3 billion, 1 billion, almost a billion, a billion, a billion. Not even close. 2 billion, 2 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion. 2 billion, 2 billion. So 2 billion tokens a day. In a way. But not enough output. Look at that. There's this, the ratio for output is so low. 253 million output tokens. Ooh. Ooh. We'll see. We'll see with the codex one day. Why am I bragging? Yeah. Not bragging. Not definitely don't want to brag.
100 million tokens last Thursday. That's fine. The point is what I did with it. And the heart of this video is to share with you that you need to...
Hold up. Goal achieved. I thought we learned this hour is token burn is suck. Yeah. It suck. It suck. Remaining, let's see. I finished all the thingies. You want? Yes. Yes. Goal achieved. Install the latest version locally. Also, you should have removed all electro bun references. Got that one done, and let's look at the other one for Windows. Still not done. I feel like once I get Codex, will I be immortal like you guys?
Imagine your entire computing experience differently, and that one of the greatest tools to do that is to see how you use your computer with AI. And that's what this token dashboard does. It actually shows you, what are my habits with AI? How do I use it? Do I use it well? Could I be using it more? I am really, really into tools that expand the imagination. I'm not into tools that just show you what you did and say, so far, so good. And so I want to walk you through how I used AI to make this dashboard and how I'm using it every day to stretch my own imagination and expand what is possible. So first, how do you think about a dashboard for AI? What does that mean and what does it involve? I got to be honest with you, the easiest tool that you can use for this is Codex. And part of why is because Codex makes it easy to measure the tokens Codex uses. You know how we always used to say, well, AI doesn't know what version it is? It's kind of the same thing with tokens now. If you're using Claude, which I love.
The frame rate is getting low because I have my GPU. It's taking
you
up
can't
so much.
tell how many tokens Claude is using unless you're in the API. You cannot easily tell if you are in Claude Cowork, if you're in Claude Chat, how many tokens you have used in your session, even if you've done very heavy work. But in Codex, you know it down to the token. And so the first thing to be honest with is I had to do some fancy math to approximate my Claude usage as a part of this dashboard work. And yes, we'll talk about that. And why do we care? Why do we care about approximating usage, getting the usage right? Well, first and foremost, if you don't know what the ratio of your actual behavioral usages of tools, it's hard for you to learn.
All right, I think we all know. We all know. Let's see here.
You see that right there?
We all know. We all know. Wow, 4K. Damn, how do I do that? 4K?
You see that right there? It says DHH is right about everything, and generally speaking, most things he has to say, I do agree with quite a bit. But there was an article that was written in which I found myself disagreeing with. And in the spirit of good debate and in the spirit of just, you know, trying to make the internet a better place, I thought I would do a rebuttal. But a rebuttal in the form of video, of course, because my writing, well, it's not that great. And hey, maybe at some point, maybe we should get a little Oxford-style debate going. I know, DHH is right about everything, except for this right here. And by the way, at the end of this, I am going to do something that I normally don't do. We're going to get a little personal, okay? I'm gonna go out there, I'm going to bare my soul to you, but I'm going to let it out there, okay? So please, don't make a comment laughing at me. It will hurt me, okay? Because I'm going to be fragile. I'm going to fragile in front of you. All right, so the argument that DHH is effectively making in here can be summed up in this first paragraph, which is open source movement has spent decades fighting for everyone's right to change software through free access to code and permissive licenses to release improvements. But at the very dawn of the AI revolution, as the mission is finally being broadly fulfilled, it's clear that everyone never actually meant everyone to some. Of course, he builds his case saying that we're treating not every programmer as equal, gives some kind of project examples as to who are the most egregious for this, and then kind of gives a good comparison down here saying that, but as with so many social movements that purport to fight for freedom or equality, this...
Just finished watching this video. Spoiler, I learned nothing from it. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, let's watch this one. Perfect. Thank you for thank you for going ahead and telling us.
Does one grab Jude Law to be your profile in advertising?
So has any...
By the way, Joe, thank you for letting me know. I definitely appreciate anybody who chimes in to let us know if they watched the video or not, and let us get their take.
Ever...
Because we've been fooled so many times by the Primogen posting the same old video too many times. So I think it's about time we skip them when somebody says something. Thank you.
Looked at advertisement or marketing for a legal technology company and said, that's fucking sexy. No, it is the most boring, the most bland. It makes like automotive parts look hot.
Legura is like another legal AI company.
And I think it was...
they're like the what do you call it? The Lyft versus Uber.
After at least one...
Yeah, why are they saying... Yeah, it's true.
Bottle of wine in the office.
Not sexy, not
and
sexy.
Somebody going, you know this like AI-powered law slogan we have? What if we got...
What's wrong with my captions?
Jude Law to like say it. Hey, I'm AI-powered law. And then like, you know, use the computer a bit. And we were like, that's a great idea. So we went to an agency and we were like, hey, can you get in touch with Jude Law? And they said,
Europeans get away
he's
saying
impossible
anything.
to get.
That's
and
hilarious.
there's this very weird moment in Hollywood right now where a lot of the big actors and screenwriters are anti-AI because they're starting to write a lot of the scripts, they're setting the colors, they're doing cinematography. And so for an actor to go and stand behind an AI company is a quite big stance in the market. And we got in contact with Jude after chasing him for about 6 months. And he said, absolutely not. But then we were like, what is Jude going to bite after? He is a sophisticated person. So we got on a call and we're like, but Jude, like, just let us show you the product. Like, let me show you our customer testimonials. And we sent him some of our videos and we sent him these quotes. We have a customer Slack channel. It's called Customer Love. And it's just like these quotes from like Teams and Outlook where lawyers are going, right. I use Legora.
All right, let's skip then. Getting into VC, taking the leap, arriving with imposter syndrome, the VC fundraise, staying confident through the nose. No, don't skip. Okay. I mean, it's only 20 minutes, right? All right. Yeah, this is probably pretty important.
To review 1,000 agreements in one day, and I got home to see my family in time for the weekend.
I'm cringe. What are you talking about? I'm cringe.
Mastered a PowerPoint with like so many of these slogans, and he was like, wow, this is amazing. I want to, like, I can get behind this, but it's really important for me that I stay Jude Law. Like, I don't want to be a person, I don't want to be Legora. I want to be Jude Law. And we went, well, what if we're just like, there's a new phase of law, and then we ran with it. And he said, I want to bring my own screenwriter. I want to bring my own cinematographer. And he ended up getting a Saturday Night Live scripter and the cinematographer of Oppenheimer. And we were like, whew. You know, we raised a lot of money, but, you know, not that much money. And, you know, they went into the studio and they just like came out with this amazing film. It was so funny. And now the marketing team at Legora have set a really high bar for themselves. So for the next campaign. So if anybody's working in marketing, we need your help.
I love that. I saw the video and I was like, wow, this is like amazing. And then like as I landed in Stockholm, it was everywhere. So
17 touch points.
Yep.
And I'm sure you sent it to all the great lawyers you know. You're like, this is so funny. Like, you should look at this. We actually had a lead come in through somebody's mom was like, oh, it was like this Legora thing I've heard about before. And they're like, Jude Law. And she's like, yes. You know, so now we have the connection.
Great. Let's
And F, this actor has 26,000 views on YouTube. He's gassing it up. Oh, okay.
talk about something else.
That was a great opening question.
I love it. I love it. Let's talk about the audience here. So a lot of people here are not starting companies. A lot of them are working as companies or working as startups or in school. When you were in school, how were you thinking about the options of what you should be doing with your life?
You know, when I was in school, I just tried to do as much as possible. I couldn't, like I did a bit of computer science, I went and studied a bit of business, I did McKinsey, I worked at 2 other YC startups. I only did 1 week.
I have an ad for my vision for my ad, guys. It's gonna be like some kids and a parent going into, or some parents are, you know, letting their kid get into an autonomous vehicle, right? And they're like saying goodbye to the kid, and then the car is driving, and it like, you know, drives off somewhere, does something dangerous, and it just cuts in. SigmaShake, use guardrails for your AI agents. Really crazy article. It'll definitely touch the people, but I'm not sure how far they'll go.
It's depicted with Anton, and
it hits everybody emotionally, right? They don't want their baby to go into a autonomous vehicle without any seat belts or airbags.
Anton then tried to hire me, and I said, no, I'm going to finish my degree. And so I felt like I got to see quite a lot. And, you know, frankly, if people ask me, like, did we pick Law or did Law pick me? I think Law picked me. And then we just decided to run like hell, and we never, you know, thought about doing
Does he have a law degree of any kind?
Like, did it appear risky to you to start something, or did it seem like a natural step?
Well, it didn't seem that risky to work on something over the summer when I still had my full-time offer at McKinsey in the back of the pocket. And then... Actually, when we
switch the kid out. Everybody loves monkeys. You know, that's true. Put an ape in there. Put a gorilla in there. Or something like that. Yeah, that's even better. That makes it even better. Wait, should we use Cdance for that? I've never used Cdance. Is there any place that gives us free commercials? Or free like video? Bro, Sigma, since he's gassing it up so much, I watched the Jude Law Legora ad. It's so cringy. Oh my, Jesus. Jude Law Legora. Jude Law Legora. Alright, Jude Law Legora. Nuclear cringe. This one? Oh my god, they got this famous guy in there. God damn, he was bragging about it.
Hello. It's fair to assume that I know quite a bit about law. After all, my name is Jude. That's why Legora, the legal AI company, hired me to be the face of their brand. So, in this advertisement, my face will be...
Advertisement?
Displayed.
You know, that's why Harvey is so popular. What the heck? What the heck's going on? What the heck's going on?
Better.
What the heck's going on? Is there yeah, that was ad. That was That was bad. Dude, when they get the Harvey guy from that Suits show, man, it's gonna be a next level for this company. They have Harvey.ai, guys. They have Harvey.ai. If you ever watch Suits, TV show Suits, he's the Chad in that show. But no.
Give me a high-level view of how breach of contract claims unfold.
What's with the sound? Such a weird sound. If Harvey hires the actor for Harvey, they'll get sued by Suits. That's true. Yeah. Which would be insanely ironic since they are lawyers, yeah. They probably tried. They probably tried. That was the worst ad I've ever seen. Worst ad I've ever seen, guys. They might have contacted the Suits show to check. Yeah, they most likely did, 100%.
Into YC was when I called them and I said, I'm not coming back. And I'm actually not the only person at Lagora who's done this. It's a group of 10, 15 people who had offers at McKinsey in particular. Even Jake, our CTO, who was also a previous YC founder, he had put off he did an internship and then he kept the offer for 6 years. And they started calling like, are you ever coming back? And then one time he says, no, I'm not coming back.
Tell us about the YC kind of like you got started and then you applied to YC, and then what was what do you remember from, from the months before YC or the month that?
So let me paint you the timeline here. So we started working in the summer of 2023, and there was like an early applicant program for the winter batch. Yes. It was like an AI. What did you call it?
Yes.
Yeah, like an early applicant.
It was
AI
the perfect timing. Like your batch was probably not the peak, but it was the first best AI batch.
Yeah, and so we got like an early application in. And hopefully you guys saw some change between the delta between our first interview and then 3 months later. And when we got accepted, I remember you calling me and going, hey, are you going to move to San Francisco? And that's a trick question, everyone. Say yes, and then you don't have to move. So I was like, yes, Gustav, I'm going to move. I'm still in Stockholm. And after we got accepted, I think that bought us time. So we got the offer in August and we were like, wow, this is really great. Now we have time before YC to like really work on the product, like really get everything in order. And we didn't know what to expect of YC at all. I had actually expected a lot more companies to have figured things out. I expected coming into YC with lots of other really smart and good companies that were already doing tons of revenue and that knew what they were doing. And it was, quite the opposite, actually. Like a lot of people were still searching. We realized that we had amongst the highest revenue in the batch. Yeah. And we were coming in with such FOMO, like 3 college dropouts from Sweden. And we were like, we're going to meet these PhDs from like MIT and Google and da-da-da. And we just came in with, I think, a lot of confidence, but also with imposter syndrome. And when we became part of the batch, we actually took our company with us. So we were about 10 people in the company at the time, and all of the engineers came to us to live in the Airbnb. And so we were fucking grinding, and it was like a real gulag. It was like a work camp. Like, I hope the media isn't here to like put that in writing, but like we worked so fucking hard, and we bought this really shitty food, and like me and the other sales guy to him, we bought this ring, like these lights to put on our laptops, because we were doing sales calls between 1 a.m. and 10 a.m.
I remember that.
every day. And then we tried to sleep for a few hours, and then we'd go to YC. I think the thing that we had, which a lot of other
Right, we had to do
companies
sales
did, we already
calls.
knew what we were going to do. It was pretty clear to us.
With the security
So
folks.
I decided to move back to Sweden. I bunkered in a conference room, and I just started selling. And I was running around Stockholm with my little briefcase, and I think people were flabbergasted by the fact that somebody was so excited about legal technology, because these chief innovation officers, these knowledge managers, these legal partners had never seen somebody be excited about selling them technology, ever. They're used to these really tired salespeople, and our product was, frankly, not that great, but they wanted to work with me, and they wanted to work with us, and half of them probably thought I was on cocaine. Like I was like, this is the fucking future, and you have to work with us, and we're going to make you win. And by the way, the biggest firm in the Nordics already work with us, so if you don't, you're kind of a loser. And they were like, okay, I get it. I have to get on the train. And then we made a very tactical hot swap. So the team that was in the US, shipping in YC, they came back to take care of the customers because I had to go to YC to do the fundraise. And I think this is a underappreciated part of YC for
That's probably the hardest part.
Founders with very little network. There's a lot of investor reach, and there's a lot of signaling value to be in YC. You basically get a lot of investor inbound building up to demo day, and then you just schedule everything. So you have like 80 meetings in a week, and you just like start to crunch it out. And I have found that one of my real skills and strength is when it counts, I fucking deliver. And so you know, I got put in this investor conversation.
That's what I keep saying.
We did a practice round.
We did, yes.
I was pretty shitty. Like we were, yeah, he's like, yeah, you were
tired and unprepared.
We were tired, unprepared, bad, and you guys gave some feedback, but you were probably like, they're screwed. And then we got into like skarpt läge. It mattered. And
it's counting, keeping count.
And I remember going to the Benchmark office, and Benchmark is one of these like legendary VC firms. And I sat down with Peter Fenton.
All right, we're halfway to go.
And
8, I guess, at this point.
Pitch. They loved it, and I walked out, and Peter Fenton turned to Chethan and said, "The guy is perfect. The only problem is that he's from fucking Sweden."
Hey, that's 5.
And I'll tell you what, I don't think that's gonna be a problem anymore. We gotta fucking show them.
Wait, he just said it again. That's 6.
Then it's like a domino. Like the next thing, you know, leads to the next thing, and you get put in these environments.
Close.
You need to show up. You need to find a way to keep energy as you go along.
Mm-hmm.
This is hard because as you start racking up notes from investors, you start reading into the notes and thinking, they must be right, I must be wrong, and you get a little bit sadder for every meeting. It's hard to keep your momentum and your energy up.
True.
You have to, because
every single meeting.
They can smell it that you are not confident in your own company.
It's true.
In order to get anyone else to be confident that you're going to succeed, you have to be confident yourself.
Yes.
And I think you had that naturally.
Yeah, I think I can on the go create that. And you know, one of the other things is that some companies will work out and some companies will not, and that's okay. And you know, we have thought a lot about what we want to do in the long term with Legora. We have decided that this is our life's work, and I've decided that personally. This is my company, and so when you've decided that, the amount that you care and your ambition, I feel like, it creeps up. And so, you know, one day we'd love to erase that legal in front of legal tech Legora. And, you know, I think one of the best companies in the world is Google because of their breadth. Like they created such a good business.
Comparing himself to Google? Oh my
God. They got the opportunity to do self-driving cars.
All this technology relies on Claude and Codex.
And Facebook was so successful.
GPT.
That, I mean, they're kind of fumbling the ball.
I don't think so.
You know,
I think we're all gonna.
They like tried to go do Meta, and it was like a cool idea. I used to build video games for the VR headset, and I remember being very nauseous.
He is the new Google.
I had to game test all of them myself.
No, I think legal.
And that's what we want to do with
I
Legora.
don't
We want to create from Europe. I mean, the largest tech company we have is SAP. Like, fucking SAP, are you serious? And now I think there's a unique moment in time where
that's another one,
leverage and shift can happen. And I tell this to law firms all the time. You know, if you're ranked number 150 in the US, AI is your fucking ticket to go from
that's
150
That's
to
8.
10, right? And I think this is our opportunity as well from this part of the world. Technology is
6
democratizing.
now.
Access to technology,
Overcounted?
access to talent.
What do you mean overcounted?
The only thing we need is...
All right, let me... How many times does this Max guy say the F word? "14 times." 14. It's 14. You miscounted. You miscounted. AI says 14.
And at Legora, we actually did the math. 15% of our entire engineering and product organization are XYZ founders. And so we're just a group of people that I think have all, you know, like locked arms, and we're like together, you know, apes together strong.
Apes together,
You know
guys.
Yeah, that's like Legora.
Dude, watch a lot of Gary Vee.
Now we get to build something truly, truly
apes
massive
together. Who says apes together, guys? Who else says
excited
apes?
about with the
The only person I know that compares apes and says that we're apes is Trainwrecks. Trainwrecks always says we're apes, guys. He still got a nerd vibe, even though he swear words. Yeah.
Organization and the team that we're building as much about as the product.
We do say, YC, every startup is a series of mini games, and once you won your mini game, you're on to the next one. And now you are winning a mini game. You won multiple ones, but you're on to the next one. Maybe that's about to start now.
Yes, but I also remember in October of 2024 was when we went into full like general availability. We were like 30 people in the company, and I had a slide, and we had 3 core features. We had our agent in our assistant, we had this big thing called tabular review, and then we had a Word add-in. And we wrote a 3-page Word document.
See, I know he's a genius business mind and very smart at product building.
That was our product manifesto. And it basically said, we're going to be the best in the chat, we're going to be best on this table thing, and we're going to be the best in Word. And there just happened to be...
Table. He said he compared Excel to a table thing. That doesn't make him more likable.
One company that only focused on building this Word add-in, and one company who only focused on building this tabular review thing, and then of course you had ChatGPT for the assistant. And we said, if we can be the best at all these 3 and bundle them, we will win. But the problem was, we were doing 1 million ARR. The company that was only focused on the table thing, they were doing almost 50. They were doing 50 times our revenue, focused on one single thing, and we had the other stuff as well. And now we just enormously surpassed them, and we've churned so many other clients. So I think it's also to be mentioned that it's easy to over-focus on the like here and now, and you do need even in this like very fast-moving, short-term world, you need to have a slightly longer horizon strategy of how you're going to win. PG had a fun advice at the office that we should write a sci-fi novel about, you know, what a lawyer 10 years from now and how they will work, because at the end of the day, it's that future we are building for.
Biggest point.
When others
Diversify.
are opportunistic, like we will dig into the ground and like keep grinding it out.
Where is Legora today? You passed 100 million in ARR, and I don't even know how many
It's a $1 billion.
company.
$1 billion company, guys.
Well, things are going fucking great. This time last year, we were 40 people. We're now close to 500, spread all the way from San Francisco to Chicago to Texas to New York, London, Stockholm, Germany, India, Australia. We are going global, because turns out lawyers work the same way all over the world, give or take. And the energy and the feeling in the company is that, you know, we're about to hit base camp, and now the real climb is about to begin. We have sort of proven it to ourselves that we could do this part of the journey, but nobody is content. We wake up, we're excited, we're going hard, and I think one of the things that is very clear is that Legora is run by a lot of founders in the entire company. And so there's like a lot of this founder mode energy, and different product departments are basically run by ex-CEOs. And so they're all just running at full speed ahead. And the things that I'm most excited for is actually the change that happened over Christmas. So I think everybody here felt like a big step change in the intelligence of and the capabilities of the models, and what that has unlocked for us in the product. And the approach that we had for a really long time was about how do we augment the lawyer and the work that they're doing? How do we help them in their like individual task? But now, because of the capabilities of the agents and the harness that we have built for our type of tasks, the content that we now have access to, all the different tools, and the trust that we have within these large enterprises, where we can access all of their documents, all of their emails. Like now we can build really powerful, proactive agents in a way. And so, you know, instead of opening your email inbox and it's sort of like super messy, and if you're a law firm partner, you have, you know, 500 geared up from just yesterday, like Legora will have taken that, looked in the context of all the matters that are happening. It will have done work on your behalf, and we're starting to actually move into a world where one of our main bottlenecks is evals for end-to-end work products. Because we're no longer just working with an individual task. We're really looking at the sort of...
What's an example?
An example would be a large M&A transaction where there's like many different steps. You can break down the steps and take the due diligence part, for instance, where you get the entire data room, and then you, well, for often it's like completely unstructured. So the Legora agent now has access to tools where it can manipulate the file tree. So you can just tell it like, hey, structure the data room. Here's our template folder structure. And it's just like, beep, pop, you know, let me go do it. And then you tell it, okay, it's this type of company. Here's the type of diligence questions that we want to run through. Let me know if any content is missing. And then Legora starts to do the thing. And some of these tasks take 20 minutes, 30 minutes. They take a long time to run. And so now the lawyer or the legal professional is moving from like working with it in real time to very much like working with Cursor or Claude Code. Like you're giving broader instructions, and then you're having the agents go out and do work in parallel. And I think that has been a very exciting movement for us. I feel like we're also trailing like 6 months behind code. So code will always be at the frontier because it's naturally a lot easier. It's binary. It's the context problem is a lot easier. The models have been trained on it sort of out of the box. And so it's very easy for us to see where the future is headed within our domain, just looking at that.
Got it. Thank you. The question that a lot of people are talking about is, when I was in YC, the question we always got is, what if Google does this? And it was a valid question at the time because they were actually pretty good. Now, over the next 15 years, they didn't do that very much. Like they actually did not execute on almost anything of the new internal products that they started, and eventually started sort of somewhat laughing at the question. Maybe not in AI, but on the other topics, we were kind of laughing at the question. You're getting the question, or other founders here are going to think about what is OpenAI going to do? What is Anthropic going to do? Curious mostly what you have for a founder who's
20 billion in 2 years.
Like, what do you tell them?
So
but they have a lot of competition. That's the problem.
We've actually seen
that they're like the Lyft versus Uber, and Harvey is Uber.
Play out one time before with databases and infrastructure and AWS. And I think you can look at companies like MongoDB and, you know, how did they position themselves against AWS, and what did they build which wasn't natural for a bigger platform like AWS to build. And I think the real question is like, what is your moat when the models continue to get smarter, right? I think that's the sort of real underlying question here. It's not like, is Anthropic going to do it? Is OpenAI going to do it? It's like, what's defensible in your business, assuming a continuous, either exponential or linear increase in the model intelligence? Because if we all think about a world where the model is so good that it on the fly writes all the code, gets all the data, figures out all the print, like everything to solve a task, then we should all go have a pina colada instead. And so I naturally don't think that's going to be the end state. And so what we think a lot about is, what are the inputs and outputs?
Because his background is Europe, so he has more scrutiny in Europe to abide by compared to the US. The US just wants to get something out, bypass all compliance checks and stuff. But in Europe, they're obligated to do all these crazy things, right? You can't survive. A US company can't survive in Europe. They usually die. But if you start in Europe and apply all the compliance and regulations from that Europe requires, then you'll probably be better than a US company.
Outputs.
I think that's actually makes sense. I probably should consider that. I did go with compliance at the start. Maybe I should expand more on compliance.
Data, what are the workflow modes? What is the behavior that we're teaching our users? And I think for Legora, we understood that we had to get big fast.
Well, they got big really fast. They got big really fast. And with that comes with a lot of growing pains. And you know what that means? Just becomes garbanzo after that. Who knows? I could be wrong. Alright, who's Mudahar complaining about this time? Same guy? Mudahar? How do you like Mudahar, guys? Do you like Mudahar? The big tech CEOs, psychosis, a disaster. I hate Mudahar. Yeah, I'm not big a fan. I'm not big a fan. I also need to take a slight break, guys, so we gotta find somebody good fast, guys. What about this? Wait, no, that's old. Anthropic calls emergency slowdown. What about this one, the slowdown? What do you guys think about the slowdown? How agent navigate graphs? Oh, wait, is TVPN back online? We found you. Something jamming GPS over Europe. What the heck? Alright. Sleeping on moonshots. Sleeping? Me sleeping? Should I do moonshots? Moonshots? Alright. I guess play Camden style loop, guys. Maybe it's just me, but I love moonshots. Alright, let's listen.
Saw a story where
Have you listened to this already, though? This is a day ago. Might be too old for you. Not that one? Alright, let's watch this one. I need to go do my business.
50-50
Check
whether
dogs.
we need another breakthrough to get to AGI. What do you think?
That guy is too old. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. That guy is too old. That guy is too old. Not that one. Not that one. You're only old once when you're in the ground. What about this one? The All In podcast or the Moonshots podcast? I feel like we haven't heard this one. I need to... You know what we haven't looked at, guys, in a long time? Has Acquired put anything up? Or Solo Founders put anything up? Oh. Oh, this is when he's just asking. Where is Acquired? Acquired put anything? Nope. Dang it. They only put one up once every month, guys. We're gonna have to wait 2 weeks. Anything involving OpenAI? They're always posting stuff. You guys like them, right? You guys like OpenAI? Right? 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 All right, Codex Sites. This is brand new, guys. This is brand new. All right, but that's only 2 minutes. All right, this is the reason model cracked Euler math problem. You know what? You know what? Let's check news. SigmaShake. All right, DeepMind's new AI found a strange new way to think. Okay. And then easy Docker install first container. It's starting. All right. What's these? What's it starting? It's starting. I guess this one's okay. How do you feel about Matthew?
AI is now literally building itself. And according
Welcome to Costco.
That means
I love you.
One,
right,
society is not prepared. And two,
we're not
we should
prepared,
actually
guys.
slow down development that is incredibly self-serving by Anthropic.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
All. And if you like me breaking down things like this, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. It really does help us grow. And let's get on to the paper. When AI builds itself, our progress toward recursive self-improvement and its implications. So it starts out just straight to the point. We are delegating a growing share of AI development to AI systems. Given enough compute, that trend points to an AI system capable of fully autonomously designing and developing its own successor. Now, interestingly enough, they say recursive self-improvement is not inevitable. It definitely seems inevitable at this point, but there is one missing ingredient that we don't have today. And so stick around because I'm going to explain what that is later in this video. And of course, they have to mention safety because they're Anthropic. Full recursive self-improvement also might increase the risks of humans losing control over AI systems. That's putting it lightly. I definitely agree. This is a major alignment problem that needs to be solved. All right, now what they're going to show in these little graphics that they put together, which by the way, beautiful, just top tier graphics on the Anthropic team. They are going to show the progression of humans being abstracted further and further away from the actual development of artificial intelligence, from the actual code being written, the research being done, everything. And it's wild to watch. So first, what we're going to see, building the first Claude. And look, this is just a few years ago. This is not that long ago. In the early days, work at Anthropic looked like work at any other tech company. You know, you're an engineer, you write code, and that code gets shipped to the end user. That's what it was like. So there it is. Okay. So you have the human developer writing directly into a computer, and the computer is building Claude. Great. Looks like good old-fashioned development work. But things changed, and they changed quickly. In the subsequent couple years, we moved to chatbots. Okay, this is ChatGPT. This was the ChatGPT moment. This is when humans started talking to a computer. The computer was really just a chatbot, and that was building Claude. Okay, then that is the point at which we really started seeing something different happen. The 2025 to 2026 era of coding agents. No longer was the human writing code directly. We had the person talking to a computer, which was really a chatbot, which delegated out to an agent, which wrote code to build Claude. Now, check this out. What we see here, and if you look at kind of the density of the pixels in the Claude logo, it's very, very big. Then they start to get more dense, more pixels, and it's exactly telling as to what's going on. As the human becomes more and more abstracted away from the actual problem, we are able to actually produce a lot more code, a lot more research, and that's what we're seeing here. So then we had autonomous agents. The human spoke to a computer, typed into a computer. That computer delegated out to a chatbot, delegated to an agent. That agent delegated to sub-agents, to workers. Now, all of a sudden, we had major parallelization happening. That means a human typing one little thing, a little prompt, could result in a tremendous amount of code. Now, lines of code is not the measure. That is not the measure of quality. It is one signal to look at. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Okay. And then look at this. Once again, the Claude logo becomes even more dense with pixels. Now, here is where we close the loop. In the future, agents could become capable enough to build and train models themselves. If this happens, future versions of Claude could be continuously improved by Claude itself. And there is only one bottleneck at that point. Can you guess what it is? Because if you look at this little graphic right here, there is something missing: the human. In every previous iteration of this graphic and of the evolution of how humans work with artificial intelligence, there's a human involved. And then finally, when we close the loop, when we develop recursive self-improvement, that is the point at which humans are no longer involved. And as you can see here, the only bottleneck is compute. How much compute can you throw at the problem? How much parallelization can you have? And so I talked about how writing the code is actually not the hard part anymore. It's everything around that. And the sponsor of today's video handles everything around that if you're building an AI product. Here's a little bit about DigitalOcean. Building and scaling AI in production is harder than it should be. If you watch this channel, you know that better than anybody. You're either going to a hyperscaler that is overly complex, or you're building on raw GPUs, which have no software, and you're doing everything yourself. Meanwhile, specialized inference wrappers are merely software layers renting GPUs from neo cloud middlemen. But there is a better way. DigitalOcean's agentic inference cloud is purpose-built for production AI. I've actually been using DigitalOcean for a long time. Developing Claude Code, they're developing Claude AI, they're developing the actual model of Claude. What are they seeing? They actually shared a lot of really interesting information. Let's look. The length of tasks that they can reliably complete on their own, that is AI agents, has been doubling roughly every 4 months, up from an earlier trend of doubling every 7 months. That is the definition of accelerating. The acceleration is accelerating. That is kind of the strongest signal of recursive self-improvement that I've ever seen. Now, they are very clear in this article that recursive self-improvement is not here yet, but we are seeing hints of it. And I've been talking about this for a while. You know, whether you're talking about the auto research project from Karpathy, which we're going to talk about later in this video, whether you're talking about Meta Harness, which was an incredible paper that I covered, which actually allowed the model and the harness to improve itself, right? These are all self-improving signals that we're seeing. Okay, so let's talk about the progression. March 2024, which is, you know, a little over a year from when ChatGPT was first launched. March 2024, Claude Opus 3 could complete software tasks that take humans about 4 minutes to complete. That doesn't describe how long it takes the model, the AI model, to actually complete that task, but basically what it's trying to do is set a standard of a long horizon task and how much it can complete. And what it's saying, what they are saying, is that if a human had a task that took them 4 minutes, let's say, you know, writing a function, now Opus 3 could do it. Or back then, Opus 3 could do it. And 4 minutes is not that long. But again, just like a year previous, all we had was tab complete. So like a model being able to complete something that takes a human 4 minutes was actually a big deal. But we've obviously come quite far since then. A year later, Sonnet 3.7, which is interesting that they didn't mention Opus again, but Sonnet, their workhorse model, their slightly less capable but much cheaper model, managed tasks that took about an hour and a half. So it is now able to complete a much longer horizon task that humans took about 90 minutes to complete. Then 1 year later, which is pretty recent, Opus 4.6 managed 12-hour tasks. And let me tell you something. I've been finally coding and developing new projects. And boy, I'll give some of the like Codex or Claude Code, I'll give them a task and they just go off. I've had tasks run for 40 hours successfully. Let's keep going down the progression. If this trend holds, tasks that take a skilled person days could come into range this year, 2026, this year. In 2027, AI systems could be capable of tasks that take a person weeks. I think we are closer to that than most people realize. I really do. Every single time we hit some milestone, the next milestone comes faster than even the absolute experts predicted. And that is what we continue to see. Now, they start to talk about something called Core Bench, which I've reviewed on this channel, but Core Bench tests the ability of a model to reproduce existing research. Why is that important? Okay, so if a researcher, a human researcher, does all this work and writes a research paper, a white paper, and describe a method in which to reproduce the results, the ability of a model to be able to read the white paper and successfully reproduce the results is an incredible skill to have. Now, it is missing one thing, and they talk about this later. I'm going to give a hint at what it is now, which is the actual task of discovering that novel research in the first place, the thing that the human did to write the white paper. That is something that the models are not really doing today. That is the missing ingredient. But if the model can read and understand novel research that likely is not in its training set, reproduce the results, that is a very valuable signal as to what's coming. So AI systems went from succeeding at reproducing the results roughly 20% of the time in 2024, 2 years ago, to saturating the benchmarks 15 months later. AI models can now successfully reproduce AI research paper, novel ideas, successfully nearly 100% of the time. Crazy. So then they get to what's actually happening within Anthropic. And there's, again, two pieces now, and I've already kind of described the difference. There's the engineering piece, which is how much code, how much of the total code and how much new code is Claude actually writing. That's the engineering bit. Writing code, standing up the infrastructure, and overseeing model training. That is likely what most of us, you, me, are using these models for. Then there's research. And this is the part where models are kind of only scratching the surface of capability right now. Deciding what experiments to run, interpreting what comes back, and figuring out which ideas to try next. This is very important to keep in mind. This is the difference between having a new, novel idea and knowing how to verify it, having taste in research, taste in a project that you're building, versus actually going to execute that project, going to actually build it. We are at the point in AI right now in which the actual development is now the easy part. The ideas is becoming the hard part. I'm going to touch more on that in a moment. We've now gotten to the point where Claude can be handed an underspecified problem and figure out how to solve it. We are still handing the problem to Claude. The problem is still the realm of humans to determine, but even a very unspecified problem can be determined and developed by Claude. And I know firsthand that that is the case, because I basically just say, like, my prompts are so underspecified, it's crazy. Let me know if yours are too. Like, I literally just take a screenshot of an error, put it in Claude Code, put it in Codex, and just say fix it. Okay, like, these are highly underspecified prompts and they do just fine. Large performance gaps persist when it comes to Claude exercising judgment in choosing goals in both engineering and research. And I found this as well. If you've built any kind of project with any of the modern AI models, you've probably noticed that you give it a big problem, but you still have to tell it the problem and it goes out and builds it. But actually knowing what to build next, it's not really doing that today. So, like, this is the type of...
It is for me. It is for me. Just because I have my whole mono repo and all instructions, that it's a platform, it knows what to build next, but to build on it forever, I'm not sure if it'll probably prompt me for approval for certain things.
Of prompts that I give. The export button isn't working, please fix it. Now, this is
like that.
Pretty specified, because you're saying this is the problem. The export button isn't working, although it's short, like the please fix it. You're not telling it exactly what's wrong. But then the next step, the way you can also do it, is investigate why the network slows down under heavy load. Here's the problem, and it's just a bigger problem. But the thing that these models can't do quite yet is, what should the team build next quarter? And I found that. I said, okay, what do we build next? And it kind of gives me some decent answers, but it's not great. And I think that's probably a reflection of the fact that truly novel ideas are not coming out of these models yet. And that is the missing ingredient that I talked about earlier. Truly novel ideas, by definition, are not possible when everything coming out of the model is a derivative of the data that was put into the model, right? It's such an important concept.
That's true.
Now, will we get to a point in which
Maybe.
they can come up with novel ideas with current architecture?
Maybe.
Possibly. Maybe it
Like,
does require some kind of new.
I only think of like, guys, real-time data is going to be the future, guys. Like what when they're doing this training stuff, they're training on past data, right? But they're not training on real-time data. Like as they're ingesting it, they're training on it, type of thing. Maybe. I feel like it's already doing that in a way, you know? You give it a task and it learns from the task and all of its failures and stuff. But overall, like Anthropic's going to reach a point where it's just going to be ingesting everything at real time and then getting what's best out of that and outputting whatever everybody else made, or training on itself, right? The what do you call it? The self-eating snake. Oh, what's it called? At the tip of my tongue. Ouroboros. It's gonna be like that. Or it's gonna train on slop. Who knows? Who knows?
Architecture. Maybe LLMs just won't get there. We'll see. All right, so here's an interesting thing. We probably already knew this. And I think at least if you're coding regularly, you're probably already feeling this yourself. But listen to this. As of May 2026, more than 80% of the code we merged into Anthropic's code base was authored by Claude. Now, this is super interesting. I just spoke to a CEO of a tech company, 300 people, and he tends to be a little bit more pessimistic about AI and its ability. And I told him, and I was talking to him about it, and I was like, hey, the vast majority of code being written by Anthropic is written by Claude. And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, that's why it's so buggy. So like he might have a point,
it's an infrastructure problem though. Infrastructure problem.
Claude is shipping the vast majority of lines of code for Anthropic, and they are moving faster than any other company on the planet, bar none. So before Claude Code launched in research preview in February 2025, this number was in low single digits. So low single digits up to 80% in basically a year. That is crazy. That is crazy to think about.
That is crazy.
Shift also shows up in the amount of output per engineer. This is where you guys, especially if you're traditional engineers, traditional developers, might start to cringe hard. Let's talk about it. Code contributed per person by quarter. Lines of code. The ultimate annoyance, the ultimate metric that really pisses engineers off. This is like the old school way where, especially like 90s, early 2000s, you had non-technical managers managing developers, and the non-technical managers would measure many engineers based on how many lines of code written. And it is such a bad measure because it doesn't matter how many lines of code you write. It's about how high quality is the code, how readable is the code.
Yeah, like the thing is, I agree that like all their code is, they barely write any code. If anything, they write no code anymore. But yeah, the metric though, lines of code, it doesn't make sense because every model iteration is just they're going to rewrite the whole code base again. They're going to rewrite the whole code base again. So I would think like, that's why I'm really into workspace, and like if you're able to create services to monitor you create your factory to create your service, then I'm more of an advocate for that, right? You're creating services to do XYZ thing, right? Oh, did I lose it? I lost it, didn't I?
How efficient is it? Right? Does it actually get the job done? In fact, there's an argument that less lines of code that can achieve the same outcome, achieve the same output, is actually much more valuable. And so again, they do say this, Anthropic does caveat, okay? So caveat by Anthropic, lines of code is an imperfect measure. That is an understatement to say the least, as it measures quantity over quality, but it is one signal, okay? And it's interesting to see this acceleration. Look right around
maybe they should just measure it by like uptime and amount of errors. in issues instead. Make that the main metric.
Q4
Hello,
of last
hello,
year.
whatever
is
that
when
sound was. I don't know what it
lines
was.
of code per
But thank
engineer
you.
absolutely exploded. And that is when the
Sigma, how are you achieving adequate productivity levels at your workplace while working full time? Is it part of your time? Is it more monitoring response role? What are you hosting? Right. Let me just answer one question at a time. So I have a whole giant spec and goal and team all written out, and I just let them go to work. I just do /goal, create a team of agents, get this OKR done. And it's an AI native service, and it just does everything for me. And all I need to do is keep my computer on. And so yeah, AI is just doing all the work. And I know how to use agents really, really well. So I know how to use Codex really well. I show it to you guys, and yeah, I don't need to deal with anything. It just gets it done. All right, next question. What is ECS? That's why I'm so confident in Claude compared to Codex, because Codex doesn't even come close to what Claude could do. What else? Sigma. All right. What are you hosting? I'm using Cloudflare. Cloudflare workers for everything. And I have over 70 services to manage my platform, and it only costs $40 a month. Another Abyss Heart. Yes. Goddamn. SigsBoss has entered the chat. Yeah. AI is doing a lot, guys. But Claude, man. Claude is the god. Claude is the god, man.
vibe shift in agentic engineering happened. And if you've been following...
Actually, now that I think about it, guys, will you buy my product at $10 base price? Never mind. You guys aren't even buying it. Never mind.
AI for
let me fix all let me fix all the issues and stuff. It's almost there, guys. It's just once you see all this in gold, like all this in AI native and distribution, all like synchronized, I think Sigma, it's because I don't have a use case for it. It's not because of your product. You're using AI, of course you have a use case for it. If you're VibeCoding and you're using Codex and you're using Claude Code, that's the use case. My plan is to be baked into every single person using it. It's not the same. Sandboxes is completely different from guiding and blocking what your AI should do, because Sandboxes doesn't tell what your agent should do if it uses the wrong tool. It's exactly the same. No, it's not. It's not the same. It's not the same. Completely different. Sandbox just puts your agent in an isolated environment, and that's it. It doesn't tell you what it's doing wrong and why it's doing it the wrong way. It's a completely different tool. Use ChatGPT to ask why SigmaShake is different from a sandbox, and I'll tell you. Tell it. Ask it right now. I have auto approve of Codex. It's great. It's not okay. All right. But you'll see.
You felt it. You felt something happening in October, November, December of last year. Something changed, and there were really two things that changed.
So wait, one more thing, microwave coffee. That means you agree with everything that it's doing then, right? You just trust it? Then why don't you just leave it on /goal? Wait, tell me one thing about auto-approve not do that SigmaShake can do. Genuine question. Why don't you trust it on dangerously set permissions and auto-approve for everything then? And doing a /goal to complete everything? Why do you have to monitor what it's doing all the time then? Why do you have to monitor what it's doing all the time if you trust it 100%? then all right, it's auto-approve. Then there must be some case where it's doing something wrong, right? Have you tried it to use different tools before instead of the one that's it's trying to do? I see some things do with stuff wrong all the time, even with Opus. So that's why I can't really trust it on full auto mode. I need there to be strict guardrails in place to prevent it from doing things I don't want it to do. Right? Right?
Opus 4.5 came out and GPT-5 came out. Both of these models were better, like significantly better at coding than all previous models. It was a step change.
Auto-approve means it just accepts everything. Yes. Yes, but you don't, I guess you don't have any concerns of it blowing up your machine then, if it does something wrong. That's something else. It's not something else. Or blowing up your database. Sandboxes doesn't protect your database, dude. I'm just saying, sandboxes do not protect your database.
Really was. And so we saw it. From Q4 to Q1, we had a massive increase, 2.5 times the amount of code to 5.8. Now, what's interesting is
the agent checks if it's not an auto-approve thing though. My product is built in the assumption everybody's on YOLO mode at all times, right? So when you put it on YOLO mode, there are things that you want the agent to do and not do. And even if you manually set all those rules, command arguments individually, it doesn't really, it'll become so large. Like you're gonna have a tough time trying to figure out how to cover everything, right? Yeah, it's YOLO. I don't think tried auto-approve model maybe. I don't think you tried. I mean, I was using 5.4 on everything for a whole day. Still made a ton of things, still broke my app, still did things I didn't want it to do, but we'll see. Oh, actually, XO uses my tool on Codex, so he probably knows.
they're using Mythos internally. And I think
it does have auto-approve mode. I'm using it right now. I've been using it for the past 3 weeks, month.
Be doing that. I think about this is like I have so many thoughts going on right now. I'm going to try to break it all down for you. They have been using Mythos since Q1. They're using this frontier model and they did not release it publicly. Now, this is the most Anthropic coded thing I've ever heard because first of all, there was, let me see if I can find it. Anthropic cut access to XAI. Shout out Kylie, who broke this story, I believe. But this was January 9th, 2026. XAI staff had been using Anthropic's models internally through Cursor until Anthropic cut off access this week. They said, no, you can't use our models to code your models, which is insane to me. That is insane. That is massive platform risk. It was reported.
I think this is why Legora will be kicked out. Yeah, I've been using it for forever. I've been using auto mode forever, except allowing the harness to do anything it wanted. But when you do that, you want to put some guardrails around it so that it doesn't make mistakes or use the wrong tool or do something you don't want to. Think about it. I'm evaluating every single tool call and allow you to have conditions on what to do and what not to do. I see what you're saying. I got it. Just ask Codex what my tool does. Just ask. It's very simple. It's AI native. It has an MCP, API, documentation. It'll let you know.
Anthropic basically banned their competitors from using their own models. And at the same time, they were starting to use Mythos internally. Now, what happened again? Rather than doing the same thing, rather than releasing Mythos and then having to like turn it off at XAI, turn it off at, whatever other competitors there were out there, instead of doing that, they simply didn't release it. They're using it internally. They're accelerating their code development. They're accelerating their AI research internally.
Yeah, but honestly, people want their AI to work autonomously and have deterministic guardrails. They don't want to learn. They don't want to rely on a harness or permission files all the time. They just want deterministic rule sets. And then how are you going to work on a team? Like, let's say you're working on your codex and then you have your coworker working on another codex, right? How are you going to sync those things together? You're going to share your permissions file or something like that? Like, isn't that going to be a little awkward? Plus, what if your team member is using Claude or using anti-gravity or using Gemini? Like, how are you going to have all the same like permissions and things to block? Wouldn't it be very difficult to do all that? It's a fair point. I just don't have a use case for sharing codex guardrails with my team. Since if my team F's up the debate, it's their fault. Yeah, my tool is meant to work with all harnesses and teams and give the developers full control of what guardrails to set up globally to everyone, right? Like that's my use case, but everybody that uses VibeCoding tool should use this tool. Like there are things that you want the model to do and want the model not to do. Because memories get polluted, and then eventually your system prompt will also not be followed. Like, let's say your harness doesn't follow your system prompt or your skills instructions because the context is too large or some weird bug happens. Don't you want like a secondary tool to at least enforce your guardrails instead of relying 100% on the harness? I think there's a big use case like it's an example of why do people use antivirus when they should expect the OS provider to protect them from viruses and malware, right? If Microsoft and Apple prevented you from getting malware, then why does EDR solutions still exist, like CrowdStrike and SentinelOne and several other vendors, right? They would go. They wouldn't be needed, right? If that was the case. Same applies to mine.
Trying to, and I know everybody loves this, but win the race. They're trying to do this, and
I don't know. Yeah. I need more demos. I haven't been demoing it because the product is still not up to my expectations. It's not perfect yet. But the marketing, I'm holding off because I know things will change. Yes. Demo scenario on stream. Yes, I'll do that. Let's do that. Let's do demo scenarios. That's a good one, Joe. I like it. I haven't been, to be fair, guys, I haven't marketed my product at all because the product still needs a little polish. Game day streams, monthly game day streams. Cool.